They say that the smallest act of kindness is better than the biggest act of cruelty. But have you ever wondered what the smallest act of kindness is? Is it a smile or a word of appreciation? Maybe it's helping someone in need or simply being there for them. Who knows? The staff at the nursing home barely paid any attention to him. They were overworked and underpaid and didn't have the resources to give him the care he needed. As a result, they often forgot about him, leaving him sitting in his wheelchair for hours on end without food or water. He was no longer depressed or anxious, and he even started smiling again. It was amazing to see how much better he was doing, and it was all thanks to Brittany. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel where we share with you the most amazing stories from around the world. Brittany helped him get into the taxi, then followed behind him as he went to sit in the back seat. "I am," he said, his eyes twinkling with joy. "This is the first time in years that I've been out of this place." He told her about his late wife and how much he missed her. As they drove away from the beach, Mr. Williams turned to Brittany and said, "Thank you for today. I needed this so much." He also told her about his childhood and how he had always dreamed of becoming a writer. Brittany listened patiently, nodding her head in understanding. She never forgot the small acts of kindness that had made such a big difference in his life. And if you like this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on future videos. And every time she saw him, she couldn't help but smile. "I can't believe I'm actually going to the beach." The driver opened the door for Brittany, who quickly got in. He thought about it for a moment, and then he said, "I've always wanted to go to the beach." Brittany was taken aback by his request, but she didn't hesitate for a moment. She then took his wheelchair and parked it nearby so that he could easily reach it if he needed to rest. Mr. Williams looked around him, taking in the sights and sounds of the beach. He could hear the waves crashing in the distance, and he could feel the warm sun on his skin. He was in awe of the beauty of it all. She immediately started making arrangements for his trip to the beach. Our today's story is about an elderly gentleman who was abandoned by his family and left all alone in the world. Then she called a local taxi company and asked them to take the old man to the beach. On the day of the trip, Brittany woke up early, got dressed, and then went to the nursing home to pick up the old man. When she saw him sitting in his wheelchair, a big smile spread across her face. His wife had recently passed away, leaving him completely devastated. He missed her so much and couldn't bear the pain of living in an empty house without her. That's why he decided to move into a nursing home so that he wouldn't be all alone. At least there he would be surrounded by people who cared about him. An old man from Florida was going through one of the toughest times in his life. However, he soon realized that those people didn't really care about him after all. The old man was desperate for some human touch, but it seemed like no one was willing to give it to him. That is until one day when a young woman named Brittany visited him. She was a social worker who had been assigned to his case, but she was different from the other social workers he had met before. She was kind, compassionate, and actually cared about his well-being. From the moment she started working with him, things began to look up for the old man. Brittany made sure that he ate on time, that he was clean, and that he wasn't left alone for too long. She also made sure that his family visited him more often. Before Brittany's intervention, they only came to see him once a month, but after she started working with him, they came to see him every week. Brittany's kindness didn't go unnoticed. The old man's health improved dramatically. One day, Brittany was talking to the old man, and she asked him if there was anything he wanted to do before it was too late. She contacted his family and asked them to take care of him while she was gone. "Ready for your trip, Mr. Williams?" she asked him. He looked at her and smiled back. "I sure am," he said. As the taxi pulled away from the curb, Brittany turned to Mr. Williams and asked him if he was enjoying the ride. When they arrived at the beach, Brittany helped Mr. Williams out of the taxi and onto the sand. Brittany sat down next to Mr. Williams and talked to him about his life, his family, and his dreams. After a while, Mr. Williams started to get tired, so Brittany helped him get back into his wheelchair, and then they headed back to the taxi. Brittany smiled at him. "You're welcome, Mr. Williams. I'm just glad you enjoyed it. From that day on, Brittany continued to visit Mr. Williams and make sure that he was doing well. Friends, what are your thoughts on this story? What lesson does it teach us? Leave your comments below.